Your girl is back. I was gone for a few days. I had to, just decompress, take a break for a while. I'm ready to tell y'all some story times. I'm live and refreshed. And yeah, if this your first time on my channel, honey, I promise you my hair was like an inch longer like 30 minutes ago. The shrinkage is real, girl. The shrinkage is real. If you have any products you can recommend me, leave a comment down below. Some conditioners, some oils, anything to keep my hair from shrinking up so much. Like, I love my hair, but it was longer than this. I'm Londa. Thank you for clicking on my channel. If you're not already subscribed, girl, make sure you hit the subscribe, or guy, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video, and hit your notification bell to keep up with me and when I upload, because I'll be a little bit all over the place, and that will let you know. But if you're already a part of my gang, then what's up, crew? Y'all know it's time for another story time, and let's just go ahead and get into the story, y'all. Listening to me, if you love me, if y'all really enjoy me, you're going to learn that Londa can lose a job. I can lose a job, whether it was involuntarily or voluntarily. I can lose a good job. And I'm going to just tell y'all the story time about the best job I ever had. It was taken away, not only from me, but let's just get into it, y'all. So I've been working from home for like 2 years now. Well, almost 2 years. Let me not lie. In January, we'll make 2 years I've been working from home. Before this job, I was working at Opelika Airport. And for those of y'all who know about, look, lopsided, wop, wop. For those of y'all who know Miami, the Opelika Airport is like the executive airport. Not too many people go in and out this airport because it's like for bougie people, private jets, just stuff that celebrities go through the airport a lot of times. It's not like MIA. That's the main airport everybody go through when you're catching a flight. Opelika is special. I was, I needed a job, and y'all should know I go through a good agency, whether it's for security, front desk, whatever job I go through. I always have my agencies on hand. And I had a lady, her name is Maya. She was very good with your girl. She called me every single day, had me working at the college, girl, had me working a little bit of everywhere. The city of Miami had me working a little bit of everywhere. And those jobs just did not last because they usually was looking for temporary positions. Like, somebody called off for a week and they needed me. Somebody called off for 3 days and they just needed me. And when the time was done, they got rid of me. So, like I said, Maya liked me. People like me. So she was searching for me a permanent position. She called me one day and she was like, well, I don't know how you feel about working in aviation, but I have a position for you. The position already have a young lady there already that we're going to call her Naomi. This just came to my head. So we're gonna call her Naomi. She was like, we already have a young lady already placed their named. We already have a young lady placed their name Naomi. You're gonna be working alongside her. You two will be there. The pay is pretty good. We're gonna pay you $22 an hour. And it's just 5 days a week. Okay. She told me what the position was about, and I just knew it was in aviation. Let's go. I knew it was probably going to be temporary to permanent, but let me see what it's about. Cool. So she sent me all the details, give me an email with the time I start, sent me the address, and I was pumped, y'all. I was like, hell yeah. I don't usually get nervous when I start new jobs because I'm here to work. I'm not really there to make friends. I really don't care what you think of me. Like, I'm here to work. So I wasn't really nervous at first. But I got ready. Dude took me to the airport, dropped me off in the back. He dropped me off in the front. So when I got to the front, the note was to call this number. She was a boss lady, Julia. I called Julia. She was like, okay, give me 10 minutes. I'm going to walk to the front to come get you. I thought I was working in the front. I guess I'm not front desk. Cool. I'm waiting like 10 minutes in the lobby, and I'm observing everything in the airport. Like I told y'all, a lot of celebrities and a lot of people with that bank, they just go through this airport a lot. So I'm seeing a lot of like fanciness. I'm talking about families hopping out of a truck, walking through the airport into the jet. Like, literally, where's TSA? Where's security? Hello. So I'm observing all of this, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be nice. So Eventually, the door swung open, and I see this short Spanish lady, Julia. She's like, "Hi, Londa." I'm like, "Hi, yes, whatever." So we gets to walking from the front lobby all the way to the back of this airport. And when I say it was a long walk, it was a long walk. We walked from building to building, open this door, open this door. It was a long walk. And as we're walking and we're talking, and she's asking me, "Am I excited? Have I ever worked in the airport or did any aviation before?" And I'm like, "No, I'm a security girl. I can answer the phone now. I can work the front desk. You know what I'm saying? I got some skills or whatever, but never in no airport." But she's cool. Julia's nice, and she was like, "Okay, well." You're gonna be working alongside Naomi or whatever. I'm sure they told you. And I was like, "Yeah." Now I wasn't nervous. I wasn't nervous until we got until the last building. When we walked inside the last building, I can hear a lot of people. It was noisy. It was echoing. It was like I thought I was just gonna be like a front desk, working with one or two people. I had no idea what I was stepping into. We walk all the way down this building, like the hallway, and it's literally like the last door. So as we're approaching, she stops at the front of the door, and she just walks off to the other room that was next to that room. And she didn't say nothing. She just left me standing right there, and she just walked off. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? So somebody came up. Now, when the guy walked up, he's one of the managers. I finally stepped forward and looked inside of this room. Y'all, this room was so packed. It reminded me of the call centers you see on movies, like on TV shows. It was like it was this big office, and they had like nice computers, and everybody was just smushed together like a call center. And I peeked inside and I hesitated. That's when I got nervous. Cause what? Why would you lead me into this situation? Oh, my leg is sleeping. It feel like static. Whew. It's like, why would you lead me into this situation? She didn't even warn me. I instantly got anxiety. I seen all these people because I looked at the people looked at me, and it was a staring match. So the little boss, Nathaniel, he was like, "Go ahead and take a seat over there." So I took a seat where I seen was open. Um, at the time, I did not know that it was Naomi I sat next to. So I sat down, and they were going over. They had a big flat screen TV on the wall, and on this wall, you could see all the flights. You can just see everywhere every plane was going. You could see the route where they supposed to land, depart. You could see everything on this flat screen TV, and I'm just sitting there, just listening, because I don't know what the hell going on. I don't know the airport names. I don't I don't know nothing. I'm just listening. I just got here. So, right before Nathaniel got done going over his scheduling with the app with the planes or whatever, I said under my breath, I was like, "I'm finna fucking go." As soon as I said that, Naomi looked to me and she was like, "Well, hello, how you doing? What's your name?" She was the sweetest girl. And I was like, "Hey, I'm Londa. What's your name?" She was like, "I'm Naomi." I was like, "Oh, well, they told me I'm going to be working alongside you." She was like, "Yeah, I heard that you was coming too. Nice to meet you." Instantly, y'all, Naomi was the best, the sweetest young woman I've ever met in my life. When I say Naomi instantly took my anxiety away, because I was finna get on that phone and I was finna call my ride so I can leave. I literally was gonna walk out, because what is this? What is this? People to the left, people to the right. Everybody was bumping shoulders. It was too much going on. But she instantly took the anxiety away from me. She was real sweet. She just, I don't know. It was something about Naomi. We just instantly clicked. And we got to talking, and she was like, "I'm going to be training you, because, girl, I've been here for a month and I got it down pat, and I'm going to train you." Cool. Now, the first day I had to learn, but it was pretty simple. Let me tell y'all what the position was. So it was an aviation company. It was called, should I say the name? I'm going to just make up a name for the name. Let's just say it was called Plane Deluxe. Yeah, Plane Deluxe, right? It was a private aviation company. That's pretty much what it was. They had came from California. They had just rented out their office in the airport. That's why everybody was so cramped together, and it looked like a damn call center in a sweat house. They had just moved from California, and yeah, they had like 12 to 15 private jets that they ran, and they operated through the Opelika Airport. So she's telling me this. I'm like, "Oh, Okay, so we're not actually working at the Opelok airport. We're working in the airport for a private jet company. She was like, yeah, girl, you got it. So I was like, okay, cool, cool, cool. So we're sitting at the desk. It was so awkward, y'all. That's this job. I ain't gonna lie. I've been working since I was 16 years old, but this position at this late in my life really broke me out of shyness. I had no choice. I had no choice. So she's training me in a room full of people, and everybody can hear her speaking. They can hear me speaking. They can hear my thoughts. They can hear everything. It's like all of the anxiety had to go out of the window because I had to do what I had to do. We're talking, she's amazing. Naomi is amazing girl. Like, she's talking to me, it's like we flowed off each other. She finished my sentences. It's like we thought the same things. And like I told you, I'm real smart. You tell me something one time and I'm getting it. Like, so our position, it was just me and Naomi that did not have an aviation degree. We did not have no aviation background. We never worked in an airport before. We were just two temp girls from this agency. But our duty at the what I called it, the plane deluxe place, was concierge. Now, I'm gonna get to that part. So she's training me, and our duty was to just book hotels and book cars and send food through Uber to all of the pilots and all of the flight attendants that was on these 10 to 15 jets. Simple. Very much simple, very much simple, very much simple. But the thing about it was every morning we had to message every plane to see what hotel they wanted when they landed in this state. We also had to see what they wanted to eat when they got to their hotel. Now, they did have a budget. Let me tell you something about working or like being a flight attendant or a pilot in a private jet company. Ballin', ballin'. They lived like kings and queens. Not only did they hit me and Naomi up for food, they also had like a budget. They had a budget. They had a budget. All of them. It was woo, girl. Anyway, me and Naomi going over the ropes, and she was like, this when they hear they like when they in Teterboro, they like this hotel, they like the W. They had a budget for hotels, y'all. The pilots. $600. They used to go to Hawaii. My first time booking the crew in Hawaii, the rooms it was like a holiday weekend. The rooms was like $1,400 a piece. It was two pilots and it was two attendants. That means it was four rooms. I went to the manager. I say, yo, the budget is $600, but in Hawaii right now, this resort, cause that's the only thing left, is running $1,400 a night, and they had to stay there 2 nights. The manager, y'all know anything you told me? He was like, well, where they gonna stay at? Balling. When I listen, balling. They were balling. So throughout this day, eventually lunch times come. It gets better. It gets better. So it's lunchtime, right? So I hear everybody, like I said, it's like a sweat house. Everybody's packed in this room. We can all hear each other's thoughts, let alone we can hear each other speak. So around a certain time, I'm hearing the talk of food. I'm hearing the talk of food. Now, the big boss, I don't know what his ethnicity was. I don't know what his background. Maybe one of y'all know. I want to say, because they ate a lot of Mediterranean food, They ate a lot of that halal food and stuff. I don't know what background they is. I don't want to, but that's what the manager was. And when he spoke, he reminded me like he would be like, eh. Like in every sentence, he would be like, so we gotta order this and we gotta order that, and tomorrow we used to make fun of that at some point, but everybody started talking about food, and the boss was like, we want our Mediterranean food, and the people over here that was like, nah, we want Chick-fil-A. And the people over here was like, nah, we gonna order some Miller's Eye House. So I'm sitting around, I'm like, damn, they got expensive taste, girl. I'm new here. I'm on a budget, maybe $10 a day. I don't have money for no damn Miller's Eye House. These are my thoughts, right? So Naomi pulled me to the side because she sat right next to me. She whispered in my ear, she was like, we got a $50 budget every day, right? Oh, what? She said, everybody got $50 budget for food. And I couldn't believe her. I was like, nah, I'm okay. I'm good. Like I'll eat when I get home. We get off in about another 4 hours. I'm gonna eat when I get home because I'm a little broke. You feel me? She was like, girl, everybody's putting in their order. I'm responsible for the food. Like I buy the food. What the fuck you want? Like I'm ordering from Chick-fil-A. Do you want you a spicy chicken sandwich with this what you want? So I was like, girl, I'll take a carb salad and a fruit punch. Thank you. And so it was just too good to be true, y'all. So she ordered the food on the app, and me and her walked to the front of the airport, and we pick up all this food that everybody ordered, and I just could not believe it. And side note, let me just say, even before me started working home, like I've always been a chunky girl, y'all. I've always been a big girl. But in the past 2 years, 2.5 years, I've gained over 50 pounds. And that job contributed to most of the weight. We were eating so good every single day. And we had a $50 budget, but I was working one day, right? So I told y'all we was all piled in this room. It was like 3 rooms connected. The middle room was with me and Naomi. The other people. The other side was accountant, and the other side was I forgot registry. Like you call the people book with them, and they take the information, right? But we could all still hear each other. One day I was working, and I can hear the people who do the reservations. He was like 65,000. I said $65,000 bumble clock. I never had nothing, y'all. I was so embarrassed. I said $65,000. $65,000. I said, oh, these people are like millionaires, billionaires. You listen, even my reaction right now, y'all, I just did not know that private jets cost that much. He said $65,000. That's why our budget is over 50. It's supposed to be $50, but we were clearly eating steaks, lobster, shrimps. We were eating in heaven every single day. And sometimes we would even order breakfast. We would buy group IHOP meals. It was ridiculous. Everybody was gaining weight. When I say not, Naomi is a skinny girl. She's normal size. She was like skinny. When I say we was like 2 months into this job, she had the hip handles on the side of her thighs. Everybody, we started going to the gym upstairs. Everybody started gaining weight. We was eating out the ass. But we going back to this first day. I just want to elaborate on this first day. So we eating, and then since me and Naomi was temps, they gave us a piece of paper to clock in, clock out, because we wasn't a permanent employees. So for lunch, when me and her finally got back to the back with the food, I get the piece of paper and I sign it, to take my lunch. The manager must be saw that. Nathaniel, he come up and he was like, "What you taking your break for?" And I was like, because we got the hour break. I'm clocking out for my break. He was like, you can sit at your desk and eat, and none of us, we don't clock out for lunch. Girl, I was in heaven. I was like, Naomi, why you didn't tell me? She was like, girl, I don't never clock out. I only clocked out one time, and he told me never clock out again. So I was like, bet, sweet. I don't even have to get off the clock. We're eating. I just was looking around like I am at all. I think I found my forever job. But y'all, it get better. So after we're eating, me and Naomi continue, like in the morning time, we message all the pilots, see where they're going to be at for the day. In the afternoon time, we see what hotel they want. And then around 12, 1, 2, we start booking those hotels. So now after lunch, now me and her gonna contact the pilots and see what hotel rooms they want, right? So we sitting there working. She's still training me. That little short lady from the morning, Julia, she calls me back. She was like, yo, Londa. I was like, who? She was like, come to my office. It wasn't like that, y'all, but that's whatever. I go in her office, y'all. I'm sitting down, and she pulls out this big box. And when she pulls it on the desk, it said MacBook. So I was just thinking it was her laptop, you know what I'm saying? So, because the job ain't never give me nothing. A job ain't never give me nothing a day in my life but a damn skimpy paycheck. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't think twice. I didn't think that it was for me. So she goes, reach down in another drawer, and it's a smaller Apple box, and she put it on top of the MacBook box. And she looked at me. She was like, "Yeah, this yours." Excuse me. She gave me a whole MacBook laptop. It was huge, and she gave me an iPhone, the latest iPhone. I'm not an iPhone girl, so I don't know what number it was in 2023. In 2023, that was the latest iPhone. So she gave it to me. I was like, for me? It was work equipment, but yeah, she was like, it's for you. You could take it home. You and Naomi are the two girls. Y'all are concierge. If a pilot need to contact y'all, if they want some food, if they want y'all to book them a truck for the day or whatever, that's how they're gonna contact you. I was like, okay, bet. It was just so sweet, y'all. So sweet. It gets better. So before the day is over, I'm working on my little MacBook because I ain't never have nothing. Julie calls me in office again, and at this point I was excited to go into Julie's office because Julie had the best gift, girl. So when Julie was like, "Yo, Londa," I was like, "Who? I'm coming, girl." I ran into her office, right? She pulls out an envelope and she puts it on the desk, and she looks at me. She was like, "This is your Divvy card." Those of y'all who knows what a Divvy card is, you could just simply Google it. It's just a company card. I don't know if it's solely for business, but whatever. It's a debit card, a business debit card, pretty much. She was like, go on your laptop and activate your card, and it's always loaded with $5,000. And when you guys run low on the money, you just simply go on the app and request another $5,000. When she was telling me this, I was like, yeah, okay, I understand, right. Okay. When I left that office, girl, I went to Naomi. I went to Naomi, and Naomi was like, "Girl, let me log into my account." She had 4,000 and some change. I said, "Ooh." She was like, "Yeah." And when I get to 1,000, I just click this button, and like 20 minutes, it'd be like $5,000 more on this card, girl. So I go on my laptop and I'm, yeah, putting in my information 5482. Thank you. Set it up, girl. It said $5,000. I said, "Ooh," because again, me and her is responsible for booking the hotels, sending out Uber Eats orders. That's what the card was for. You understand what I'm saying? So, but just the fact that they trust me and her with this amount of money, what? I was excited, girl. This was the best job I've ever had. So the first day is done. Needless to say, I'm sure y'all can guess it. It was the best job ever. Like, I've had many of jobs in my life, but that one took the cake. I was excited. I couldn't stop talking about it. I was telling everybody about it. I just was so excited about the job. So excited. Some weeks go by. It was. I feel like the Plain Deluxe company was like a family owned company. Had that money on, it had to be because the guy who was saying, and they thank you, they seemed to be family. And then they had a younger guy. His name was Noel. He was like the supervisor of all of us, and he seemed like their little cousins or their nephew or something like that. So I feel like there was a company. Child, Naomi done start talking to the white boy, Noel, honey. I found out that it was a good thing because we started getting perks, you know. He started because he knew that me and Naomi was besties. When I say me and Naomi was besties, we were so close. He started letting me come to work late. Y'all, we worked 10 hours a day. It was from 8 to 6 p.m. I used to walk in at 9:30, 9 o'clock, 8:30, and nobody ever said anything to me. And it was okay. I never got in trouble for it. So her dating Noel was a good thing. She used to tell me all their little hunter stories and stuff, child. Noel wasn't good at nothing, child. But she used to tell me all their little business, child. And I was getting perks out of it. They used to invite us to they used to book us big sections at Top Golf restaurants, and we all used to meet up with each other. We all went to the bar one time and we all got drunk. We all we met up plenty of times at places and had a good time. I've never had a setting like this at a job to where I was actually comfortable meeting coworkers, and we had a ball. We had a ball. So me and Naomi is working the concierge for a while. Occasionally we would get on a golf cart, go to the front of the building, pick up everybody food. Everything is going good. On top of us having to book all of the pilots, me and Naomi responsibility was also ordering from Walmart. We had a storage room next door to this room, was quote unquote our lunchroom. And the lunchroom was pretty much she pretty much passed, because I was older than Naomi, y'all, by some years. So she pretty much looked up to me, and she passed the responsibility to me, was to keep the lunchroom stocked with food. Girl, I used to be ordering Walmart delivery about $500-$600 worth of stuff. I'm talking about the big container of nuts, the big cases of chips, all kind of healthy drinks. Because like I told you, these people, they like Mediterranean food. They was very healthy people. I would order like all kind of like, oh, Poppy was their thing. They used to love that salsa. They used to love salsa water. What else I used to, just all kind of snacks. You go in there, anything you want. Just a little snack. Oh, the coffee station, I had it on deck. I went online and I made us a subscription to the damn, I can't even think of the name. I can't even think. It's one of them good coffee companies, girl. I went on there and I made a subscription, honey. They came and delivered us the top creamers, top coffees. I had the coffee section on lock. I had all kind of flavors. I had all kind of flavors of coffee. I had it on lock, girl. What else? What else, girl? I was responsible for the Zephyr Hills water, the deliveries. I had to keep the water on stock, girl. The best job ever. It was just so simple, and getting paid $22 an hour to not even be a part of the company. Me and Naomi was talking. We was like, girl, we don't have no aviation background. They can just kick us to the curve. I was actually starting to look into aviation degree, because I really wanted to become a part of that company. Y'all, Plain Deluxe was one of the best jobs, hands down, I've ever had. And I just had my heart set on working this job forever. Forever. We got paid weekly. $22 might not sound like a lot to you. But coming from security, coming from working at the front desk, coming from working temporary jobs where, you know, I've always had my side hustles, my Turo, sold my handbags. That's why working those small jobs was nothing to me. It was just, that's what it was, just a job. But coming from that to accepting $22 an hour, booking hotels for pilots, girl, it was the best thing to me at the time. So of course, in my heart, I just wanted that job forever. So me and Naomi is working the damn thing for like a month or two. We working the damn thing. They let us work from home on Thanksgiving. They let us work from home on Christmas. They let me work from home on New Year's. They just was the best job ever. So now we rolling into the next year. Naomi is in the room working on a computer. I go to the lunchroom because I want to fumble through some snacks. That's how I gained 50 pounds. We all was fat as hell. Anyway, I wanted to go get me some snacks. So I go to the lunchroom. And when I walk in the lunchroom, I can see the small Spanish lady, Julia, talking to this girl. She looked young. She was like 23, 24, dark skin, pretty tall, nice shape, nice wig, had on some Jordans. That's what I peeped as soon as I walked in the room. She locked eyes with me and I locked eyes with her, and I instantly felt like, oh damn, they finna either replace me and Naomi, or they finna add her to our crew. So I continued walking to the coffee station because I didn't want to, intrude because they was talking to her or whatever. So I go to the coffee station, make a little quick coffee, but I'm ear hustling. So she knew. So Julia was telling her, like, yeah, come in my office. I have to give you your computer, this or whatever. So when Julia finished talking, I jump in. I was like, hey, my name Londa. Welcome to I was just being nice. I was like, welcome to the business, girl. Like, you gonna love it here. Like, welcome. She was like, oh hey, like you seem nice. Well, my name is CeCe. Yeah, whatever. I instantly run back to the room because why? I need to tell Naomi. Naomi, girl, we got a young girl here. Either they finna replace us or they finna add her with us. So Naomi's like, who, girl, who? me and her is like sneaking to the lunchroom. We trying to peek inside. So she was like, let me go get me a coffee so I can go see who it is. I was like, yeah, go ahead, girl. So she go get her a coffee. She come back. She was like, oh, she look nice or whatever. I was like, yeah, she seems sweet. But either they gonna replace one of us or both of us, or they're gonna add her. So she was like, yeah, now I'm nervous. She was working directly next to us. As y'all can imagine, of course, we're three black girls. We're going to band together. We're going to stick together. Naomi was one of the best girls I've ever worked with in my life. She was one of the best co-workers I've ever worked with in my life. Her personality was just gravitation. It was gravitational pulling. Her energy was just so good. You would love her. Listen, she was just her. I aspire to have energy like Naomi. I aspire to just, girl, her energy was just so good. So of course, CeCe gravitated right towards Naomi, and we all became the three musketeers, and we would work together. Now CeCe did not work the same thing me and Naomi. Me and Naomi had that position on lock together. They had her doing the reservation kind of thing, meaning when the families wanted to go out of the country to Russia. She was responsible of uploading their passports, putting in their information into the system, seeing if they wanted any special accommodations, like when they get on the jet, do they want any wine, snacks? How many pets will they have on the plane? How many bags will they have on the plane? That's what CeCe position was, and she hated it. She hated it. Like the first day she trained, she seemed okay. Because it was another black girl who trained CeCe. Now, them two seemed cool at first. That eventually went down to hell. They eventually started beefing. And yeah. So, one day I'm in the bathroom and CeCe come in the bathroom. And she was just pissed because the guy who'd be like, he was messing with her. He would kind of like, he didn't mess with us too much. But I guess because she couldn't catch on to her position, she was making errors when she was entering the information. Like if they said they had 3 dogs, she was entering 2. She was making like little mistakes like that, stuff that you can fix, but I guess she was doing it too much. So he would like pull her to the side and talk to her. And she didn't like that. So I was in the bathroom. She walked in the bathroom and she's talking to me, venting, telling me how she had 4 trucks. She got like over $100,000 in her bank account. And then y'all know how you pull the napkins out. It's like a little box. It be in like a little metal box. She just started, y'all, she's just like, on the damn thing. And I was taken back. I was like, oh Lord, she's crashing out. She's crashing out. She was like, I got 4 trucks. I don't need this job. $22 ain't nothing. He keep bothering me. I made a mistake. She just kept hitting the thing. And I was standing in the bathroom. I was like, Naomi, please come in the bathroom. Because, y'all, truthfully, us three used to follow each other around. We used to follow, especially Naomi. She, like I said, I was older than her, especially Naomi. When I used to leave, she used to follow me around like she was my sister. She used to follow me. So I was like, please, Naomi, come into this bathroom because CeCe is spazzing out. So I'm keeping my cool. The best thing to do when somebody is like, you see they stressed or they on the verge of fucking something up, you keep your cool, right? So I was like, girl, it's okay. He always bothered me too. Like, this could be fixed. It's okay. So she was like, so I was just quiet. I was like, I'm going to keep my cool, but eventually I'm going to break off and I'm going to go try to find Naomi. I didn't have to. She busted in the bathroom. We all talking about it. At this point, the guy was not bothering me and Naomi at all. He was only bothering CeCe. CeCe felt like they was going to fire her. And I was telling her, like, girl, the issues that you have going on, we could fix it. Like, well, they could fix it. You making errors, typos, that can be fixed. You know what I'm saying? So calm down. Stop beating on the damn thing like you King Kong. It's going to be all right. So we calm CeCe down and we move on with we move on, right? So one day, I'm working. The lunchroom needed to be restocked, and that was my job. I would get all kind of food, like I just told y'all. The order was like $500. I had to meet the delivery person in the back, help them put everything in the front, like in the break room. I did all of that. I was me and Naomi was on our job, right? I forgot to tell y'all, before this happened, I feel like CeCe became a little envious of me and Naomi. Not only for our relationship, I feel like she was starting to get envious of us because our position was so sweet. Me and her was the only two in control of the debit cards. We only had to book hotels. Our job was very sweet. We didn't do much of nothing, and she was over there stressing every day. I'm not saying that to be funny because I really enjoyed CeCe. I liked her. She was a very nice girl. I liked CeCe, so I'm not being shady when I say that. But I say that because I remember, like, toward the ending of this, she would like I would see her sometime, like I and me and Naomi when we would talk. Um, when me and Naomi walked in, she would get quiet. A couple times me and Naomi was just like working, trying to find a hotel, laughing, and she would like side eye us. I seen little shit like that, you know. I see stuff like that, so that's why I say I think she was becoming envious of us, of how sweet our position was, and she was sitting next to us, literally stressing every day, you know. But we're working. I put all those damn snacks and groceries in the lunchroom, child, and everything was normal. Everything was normal. Everything was going great. We was getting paid every week on time. Nothing was out of the ordinary. Um, and then I come to work again the next day. And the desk that me and Naomi, like I told y'all, me and her had pushed our desk together because that was my sister. Me and her had pushed our desk together. But I come to work this day, and the desk is just pushed apart. And the desk that I usually sit on is gone. It's like, you know, is so I was like, damn, like they could have told me to just move my desk, or maybe because it was in front of a door, exit way. I thought maybe because they moved the desk, you know, it's a fire hazard. That's what I'm thinking. Me not, and I told y'all it was like a sweat house. As me and Naomi is discussing this, everybody in the room could hear everything. Everybody we was close to, I'm talking about like the actual aviation people. Some of the pilots was in there, the manager. They can hear me and Naomi speaking about this, but nobody's saying nothing. Everybody's normal, doing their job. um Me and her, I'm like, damn, they probably just moved the desk because it's a fire hazard or whatever. Nobody's saying nothing. So one of the lady managers come in, and she was like, can you nobody called you? And I was like, what you mean? She was like, oh, because I need to see you. Now, this day was a Thursday. Let's say the next day was going to be a Friday. She was like, oh, don't worry about it. She was like, I just need you to come in tomorrow at 1 o'clock because I need to talk to you. Instantly, when you tell me something like that, it's just like, what? What are you talking about? So, what? She told the same thing to Naomi, and she told the same thing to CeCe. So because she told the same thing to them, I'm like, okay, maybe we finna do some training kind of thing. Maybe they finna up our position, teach us some real plain shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what we was thinking. You know, they want us to come in so they could train us and, you know, just learn more. So I instantly I calmed down. I was like, okay, it's cool. So the next day is Friday. And we come in, like I said, the desk is still moved and everybody is still playing normal. Everybody we talk to and laugh with, they still laughing and talking with us. Everything is still cool. The manager coming in, hey, shut your ass up. Just coming in, everybody is playing friendly. So the lady who asked us to come in, she come in and she was like, can I speak with you, Yolanda? I was like, yeah, you know. I was like, cool. She was like, did the agency call you? And I was like, no. That's when I started getting suspicious. I just felt doomed. I felt like, oh my God, they firing me. So I walked off from her. I was like, I don't want to talk to you. The guy who be like, he's the big boss. I seen him. So I say, yo, can I speak with you? He was like, yeah. So I went to the outside of the building. I was like, she asked me, did the agency call me? He was like, yeah, they didn't call you. I was like, nah. He was like, yeah. I say, y'all not letting me go, are you? He was like, yeah. He was like, we're not firing you. He said, we're moving. He said, you know, we were temporarily here. That's why all of our stuff is compact together and everybody is in one room. He said, the location, like we just moving back to California. Like everybody. He said the whole company, we're just packing up and we're just moving back to California. And I was just like, why? I didn't understand. I was like, why? He was like, just business decisions. He's like, it's not even my decision. He was like, we thought hard about all of this for weeks, and we the whole company, we're just leaving. So y'all, I was so hard broken. I was like, nah, $22 an hour is gone. This is the sweetest job I ever had. I was talking, I was like, can y'all please reconsider? Can y'all please just like, can y'all resign y'all lease for another year? Like, can y'all stay, please? Can y'all stay? He had tears in his eyes. He was like, he was like, we thought about you girls. Like, y'all did an amazing job. He was like, I want you to take what you learned from here and excel with it. He's like, I know that we treated y'all well. He said, just take the experience and just remember it. He was like, he had tears, y'all. He was like, I'm so sorry about it, but the whole company, like, we're going back to California. Y'all, I started crying because when I get overwhelmed and when my heart is broken, it was like a bad heartbreak. I felt like I had just got dumped, because it's like, you're not firing me, but I felt like I had just got dumped. And by seeing tears in his eyes, I knew that it was real. You know what I'm saying? Because the desk was moved. They had started taking desks out and stuff like that. So while he's out there talking to me and I'm pleading to him to stay in Miami, I can see Naomi in the window. Like, the window was huge. It's an airport. So I can see her standing in the window, and she was in Julia's office, the Spanish lady. So as I'm talking to the errant guy, I'm talking to him, and I'm looking in the window, back and forth, and I can see Naomi going like this. Because I thought they were just letting me go. Shit, I don't. Even though he said the company was leaving, I still thought because he only put me to the side. Well, I put him to the side. So I could see Naomi going like this. Child. Child. I'm talking to the manager, and that door swung open. Boom. It swung open so hard it hit the side of the wall. She come walking out fast. She was like, she started yelling at me. She was like, girl, they just let us go. They said they closing the company. So the manager was like, focus on me. Let me finish explaining to you. I'm sorry about this, and that. So Naomi go to her car, and she put her stuff in the car, and she just sit in it. I guess she was waiting for me to be done. So as I'm, wrapping up my conversation with the manager, telling him how heartbroken I am, and this was the best job that I ever had, and I thank everything. He's thanking me for everything. Same thing happened. Boom, the door bust open, and it bust open so hard it banged the side of the wall. And CeCe come walking out. Now CeCe didn't say nothing. Like, how like Naomi, said something to me. She didn't say anything. She just stormed past us. She was walking real fast with her purse on the arm. And at this point, you already know that he let us go. Because if I'm crying, Naomi crying, she bust out the door. That was her fate as well. So she didn't say nothing. I was, looking at her to see if she was gonna turn back and say bye, y'all. Like, they let us go. She didn't. She kept marching to her car, and she got in the car and she drove away. And I don't know if she ever spoke to Naomi again, but I've never spoken to CeCe ever since that date ever again. That's why I say she was probably felt some kind of way, because even though, girl, you can see Naomi and me, we both got let go too. You could have said something to us, but she didn't have no words for us. She drove off, and we didn't ever see her again. Now, the manager, once he finished explaining to me why he had to let us go and break my heart, I just was crying. I went inside, returned my laptop and my iPhone, girl. I got my stuff, and I went in my car. And then me and Naomi put up next to each other. And, we were talking. She was crying. I was crying. I went home, told my dude what happened. All of us was heartbroken. And that was the best job I ever had in my life. It was so sweet. I had so much money at the tip of my fingers, $5,000. I wish my personal bank account was like that. I wish I could go on my bank account and just be like, 5,000, please. 5,000, please. 5,000, please. It was so lovely. And they didn't question none of the transactions that I made. It was just the lovely job. And I was heartbroken, y'all. I probably had never find, because I want to work for myself. I want to be an entrepreneur. I'm not good with jobs. Your girl always get fired or whatever. I can't see myself working a job until I'm old. But if I had to, that's what it's going to be. But that would take the cake far as best jobs I've ever had. I don't think another job will match that. Um, I'm gonna just wrap this up real quick. After that, the agency was like, girl, don't worry about it. We got you another job. I was like, okay, it ain't gonna be good as this job, but I'm gonna check it out. Girl, they sent me to a FP&L place, right? And the FP&L place, the whole city of Miami, every single residence, I had to mark it off because they was putting like little meters in the yard. Girl, the lady told me it was gonna take me 3+ years to finish it. I said, what? Girl, my lunch was at 1. I called her at 1:30. Well, I called the agency at 1:30. I said, excuse me, this ain't nothing like plain deluxe. I ain't returning back. The lady said, I understand, but when I have another position, I'll let you know. Click, never went back. I went on lunch, girl, never went back. And then that's when I started working from home, and everything's just been smooth sailing for me. But that's how I gained so much weight in the past 2 years. Working at that damn plain deluxe, eating all them steaks and lobsters. Girl, I'm done talking, y'all. If y'all enjoyed the story time, leave a comment down below. Tell me y'all best jobs. Do y'all think that was like a sweet job? Or tell me y'all worst jobs. Just leave a comment down below because your girl loves to talk to y'all. I do appreciate your help. And if you're not subscribed already, don't be a silent watcher. Subscribe, like the video, hit your notification bell so you can see when I'm uploading all that good stuff, girl. And until next time, peace.